Hey everyone, this is DJ Honeyflow, and we just actually went to Instagram. Hopefully, you guys could hear me. Had to switch some equipment here. And, the next guest that we're going to have on the Honeyflow show is, of course, the one and only DJ RL Breezy, all the way from Chicago. So it's going to be fun getting into, some of his history with DJing, music, and, of course, some of his TikToks that went viral, which I find pretty interesting. I knew that that would happen. And it's amazing when he first started out talking about it and then seeing, kind of what's happened too, even with his videos is pretty cool. So let's bring him in right now. Thanks for joining us, you guys. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, mic check 1, 2. Can you hear me as well?
Okay, yeah, I could hear you.
Okay, sweet.
Just
All
had to
right.
switch some equipment here. So I'm glad it's working. Let's see who's in the chat. Do you want to give some people some shout outs here too? I see
Yes,
your tribe here.
Freaky Fire is in the building. Double Spirit. My girl, the Mrs. Sweet Tea Pie is in the building. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good to see all you guys. Thanks for coming through, and everyone that came from Instagram too and moved over. So we were just talking a little bit of, and I'll probably ask you a few repeat questions for a few that missed it on Instagram. And I also want to say welcome Facebook and also YouTube. I'm now streaming too. So just look under DJ Honeyflow for everyone on Facebook and YouTube. You won't see any comments, but you will see them if you come to Twitch, which is totally free. It's a streaming app for a lot of different people, not just DJs, but cooking, crafting, gamers. If you stream motivational shows, it's pretty much here on Twitch. So just make your way to twitch.tv/DJ Honeyflow. I should work for Twitch, seriously, with all this promotion.
Throw you a couple extra dollars right in the back.
Yeah, exactly. We got DJ Jonah as well. Good to see you. We just mentioned you on Instagram as well. So we were just talking about, I guess, some of the different artists we could bring up again from Chicago. I found that really interesting that you said. So why don't you mention it again? Some of the artists. I mean, we have like I mentioned, Common, The Chance, the rapper Jennifer Hudson. But you mentioned a few others that I didn't know either from Chicago.
Carl Thomas, Donnell Jones. We mentioned the Brad. Did we say Twister, Do or Die, Crucial Conflict? A member of Earth, Wind, and Fire. We didn't mention that. I can't remember. We mentioned Shaka Khan at the end. Who else? Man, when I'm DJing, I be knowing all this stuff here. You said Jennifer Hudson already too, right?
Yeah.
And we mentioned R. Kelly. He tends to be the face of Chicago, but Common has kind of taken that reign now. Where everybody see him in the light. Who else? Can't think of any other artists right now. When I get on Twitch, I get nervous, y'all. You see this?
Yeah. If you guys know any artists from Chicago, definitely drop them in the chat. I'm sure there's a lot of crazy like house artists too.
Well, Terry Hunter.
Terry Hunter. Yeah, of course.
And I had the privilege and honor of DJing with him last month at a 55th birthday party.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
Mr. Grammy nominated. Yep.
Oh, dope. Yeah, no, that would be really, truly amazing. And we're just kind of talking about his past history, guys, just being in Chicago as well. Can you think of like a favorite concert that was like very memorable in Chicago that you've gone to?
Yeah, so believe it or not, the one that was most memorable to me was the concert that my mom performed at. My mom used to be in a band when I was younger, and she performed some of Whitney Houston songs and Anita Baker song. That was like the dopest thing I've ever experienced. That was actually my first concert, was watching my mom. But fast forward, it became it was Flowetry. They came to Chicago, and they did a intimate concert in a smaller space, and that was like the best concert I've ever had. I felt so close to it.
Oh, yeah, Flowetry would have been amazing. Wow. So you said your mom was in a band. What, like, was it like a popular band, or what type of band was it?
So it was a local band. She was young too. She had me when she was young as well too. But she used to go and practice in this garage. You know how a lot of bands kind of start in the garage and stuff like that. And so I used to be there and watch her perform in that garage. But then she had an opportunity to perform in these different gymnasiums and Malcolm X College, one of our city colleges.
Hmm.
Like it was packed, crazy packed, sellout crowd, and she just tore it up.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really
Mhm.
cool. So, DJ J Jonas says Quincy Jones, the Dells. Ooh,
I
DJ
forgot
J
about Quincy
Jonah knows a
Jones.
lot here.
Yes.
Um, oh, and DJ Freak Faya says that's so dope. I just met this year when he came to North Carolina. That's amazing.
Are
Oh,
you
Curtis
she's referring
Mayfield.
is she
Curtis
referring to Terry Hunter?
Yeah,
She
Terry Hunter, I think they're mentioning, right?
okay.
DJ Freak Fire. And then DJ J Jonas, like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah, Shaka Khan, I just found out
Hmm.
as well.
Double Spirit, Boy Genius is the truth too. So I talked to you about Quiet Storm.
Hmm.
Boy Genius is another dude. He's that dude. When I tell you like he's like a trendsetter in my opinion in terms of pushing the envelope as DJs. He has this thing called the overground. He don't call it the underground. He called it the overground. And you have to kind of go in and kind of check some of his sessions. Um, he is the master of what is that skill called? Transforming. That's a technique in DJing for those who don't know. Um, but you got to check out Boy Genius too, another Chicago dude. And like you said, we're known for house. He falls under that hip hop culture slash open format that you don't
Hmm.
typically know Chicago for.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm just looking here. Double Spirit, are you from Chicago? I can't remember now. It's been a minute. Can't remember. I'm trying to remember where everyone's from.
Double
Yes,
still, if
and
you find out you from Chicago.
I know DJ J. I know Miss BJ is. I mean, she'd be
Yeah,
one person I would really want to see if I visited
she's such
Chicago
a
next
dope
to
soul.
yourself and Jonah and but she's a character, so I would definitely
Mhm.
want to meet her, Miss BJ.
Yeah,
She was
she's
at your
such a
last
dope soul.
barbecue, I think.
She was at my barbecue. She came over. We watched some Bears games together. So we hung out many a times outside of Twitch.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. And Greg Flowers I would want to meet too, like
Yes.
interviewing him.
Uh,
He's another crazy character. So, yeah. Um, that's yeah, Chicago definitely is amazing. You guys have the best festivals, food, popcorn. I don't know about your deep dish pizza though. That's a little much.
let me tell you this here.
Correct.
We don't care about the deep dish pizza here.
Oh, really?
That's a tourist thing. That's
Oh.
totally a tourist thing. Freaky Fire, come through. You are invited, sweetheart. Come through.
Are you gonna go to the meetup? DJ Jonah, anyone in the chat room going to the meetup in June as well with them in Chicago?
So we're
If I
gonna
can
call it
make my
the
way there.
barbecue. I don't want to call it
Oh, the
meetup. We're gonna
barbecue.
call it
Okay, not a meetup. The barbecue.
the
Barbecue.
barbecue, baby.
Exactly. So maybe I will. It's a long drive though. I think it's like 14, 15-hour drive from
Mhm.
uh from Toronto.
Okay.
So you probably have to catch a flight, I think. Oh, Joan is like, we do care about deep dish pizza.
Well, he's speaking for himself.
Yeah, exactly. Hey Ava, good to see you. Oh,
Ava,
Double
what's
Spirit
up, sweetheart?
says I don't have details yet, but maybe.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, you guys got to mention it a lot more. I'd be mentioning on all your shows like now till, like keep
Yeah,
mentioning it. So,
appreciate
because even they're like, oh, there's a meetup in June. So it's always good to keep mentioning it too. So you were mentioning just with DJing, like when you got started, was there
it.
anyone that kind of inspired you to get started?
You believe it or not, my I had just right a couple of years before that, I had my first Apple product, and it was a iPod. And being bored sometimes, you just go and just kind of search for apps and stuff like that. I happened to find a DJ app. It's called DJ Pro or DJ. It was called DJ back then. Um, I downloaded that app and I was just playing with it because I had some music downloaded on it, so I can use my Apple Music download. Over a friend house, we were just I think we was watching a football game and he had a Bluetooth and I was playing some tunes and I put it on happened to put it on the app and you pull the record back and spin it. I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. They liked it as well too, and then I kept playing with it and playing with it, and just so happened, for those who don't know, I'm a school teacher as well. Um, the school that I was teaching at, they did this eighth grade thing called a winter ball, and this just so happened this year, the person who sponsored it didn't have a DJ. And what I do in my classroom all the time when kids are testing or they're coming in just getting started, I play music all the time. So it could be jazz music, it could be hip hop music. I would probably do like a throwback Thursday or something like that. And the kids, they enjoy that kind of music as well too, believe it or not. They like their parents' music like we did. And that teacher who sponsored it was next door to me, so she would hear the music sometime. And she said, "Hey, can you DJ this party?" And I'm like, "Yeah." No experience whatsoever. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, of
wow.
course I can. Yeah, for sure. Just as long as we have speakers, I got you. And so I'm rolling around with this app on my phone that I just downloaded on my iPad, and I did some research to find a aux cord that can go into the back of speakers, and I DJ'd their party. So I had every song that they wanted, and if you go back and look at it, it was trash when you
Oh,
talk about
really?
transitions and all that stuff. But you know, one of the important components of DJing is song selection.
Mhm.
And so what I did know was what was the most popular song versus some songs that wasn't as popular. And so I kind of played it in that particular manner, and it was successful. The parents who were there supervising, they saw it, and they're like, "Hey, can you DJ our school party?" And blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh Lord, yes, I can." I kept
How
saying
old
yes.
how old were the kids again, or how old were they?
This was middle school kids, so eighth graders.
Okay, because usually they're picky with music, because we were too, right? Like, they want the kids
Mhm.
now, they want the music
Yeah.
changing, like, quickly.
But I set it up right where I told them to tell me every song that they want so I can go purchase it on iTunes. And so all the kids, they had a certain amount of time to pick those songs and they did. And I had more than enough songs to go through that night.
Oh, okay. Would you do it now, like, playing for kids? Like, say if like, actually, what grade do you teach right now?
I teach eighth grade
Oh,
science.
eighth grade. So would you do it now if they asked you or no?
So I still do it from time to time. I'm it's similar to how you would do like I guess you donate some things per year. So I don't
Mhm.
I still get paid for it, but I donate my time to maybe two or three teenage groups a year.
Oh,
I've
cool.
done a sneaker ball and I've done are you familiar with Nisha? Nisha, she was my mod at one point in time here on Twitch.
I think
She,
I've heard of her before. Yeah.
mhm. She has a daughter who's 16, so I end up doing her party as well too for her daughter. They had a good time. So I'm gonna just say, long story short, you may get one or two out of me a year for teenage parties.
Okay, and they still think you're cool? They're not like, "Oh, man, get this guy. Get what the heck? Get him out of
No,
here."
I'm so about building relationships. That makes a word of a difference. I connect. So me being a teacher, I connect with the kids. I know how,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
been doing it for so long too. So I've never had a situation where like get this dude out of here because I know from a sound selector standpoint how to hook them, and that's
But a
part.
lot of the me oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
A lot of that comes from being a teacher. You got to know how to hook kids to bring them in. So I apply what I know as a teacher into that field as well.
Yeah, but it's hard with the hip hop now, like, a lot of it's pretty garbage, like, I
Yeah,
was listening to a lot of it, I'm like, "Ah, I can't play this, can't play that, can't play this." It's like you have to bleep out and it's not even just hip hop, it's R&B now too. There's so much you
right.
gotta bleep out, like, I can't play this for elementary kids, you know what I mean? Although
You're
they're
right.
already listening to it, and
Yeah,
even if you clean out the versions, they're still gonna yell and scream the dirty versions
they
too.
will. Right.
Yeah, so I really do not like playing for anyone that's 16 and under, I just don't. if I have to, I'll do it. But kudos to you that you could do it because don't they have tons of energy? Like, doesn't it exhaust you?
Believe it or not, for the in Chicago, I'm gonna stick to my demographic and location. The energy that you would think they have, you don't necessarily see that. They are so big at having their phones out and on IG just showing that they at a space. And we see a lot of adults do that as well too. So I may get into some juke music and they have some new juke music as well too. So they'll dance to that real quick. If it's not like a TikTok sensation kind of thing, they just taking pictures and just boring. But I get what you're saying. You know, the music, I'm not a fan of it. After I've done those things, I'm like, I got a headache. From
Yeah, I have
so,
a headache. Like, I did
mm,
Canadian Brew House, like, a lot of times, and I'm just like, "Man," like, everyone's in their 20s, which is okay, is fine, but when you're listening to Cardi B or listening to music like that music all night, Drake,
yeah,
I'm like, "I can't." Like, I
mm,
need to go back on Twitch, you know? So and they're demanding too, they want things very fast, like,
yep.
every minute, something new, something, you
Hmm.
know?
And
And
they don't care for blending or building a set. That does not resonate with them in any shape or form. And I know there's adults like that too.
Mhm.
But I did this thing for the seniors in my building as well. We have 6th through 12th grade. They were having some state tests, and I was in there playing music. Like I was getting there, I was going, and then all of a sudden, hey, can you play this song? Hey, can you play this song? Can you play this song? And I'm like, "Oh, here, okay, I'm karaoke for now. I'll be karaoke or jukebox. It is
Exactly.
jukebox, and that is so boring.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind if you're getting paid well. Like, say if
Yeah,
it's a corporate event, I'm like, "Hey, if you want me to be a jukebox, I could be a juke. I don't mind, because if they're paying very well and they're eating their cheese and crackers and drinking their wine, I'm okay with that."
and I don't want it. I
Yeah.
don't want it. Like the one I did for the seniors. Um,
Oh, seniors? What did you play for seniors?
I don't look Oosie, little Boosie, little Koosie, little
What?
Doosie, look
You're
everybody.
playing
I
that
don't know.
for seniors?
Yeah, but so they're basically at an adult stage, right? And so the principal and the administrators, they don't necessarily care as long as it doesn't get out of hand.
Oh, I thought you meant seniors. When you say
Oh,
seniors here in
senior
Canada,
citizens. Oh, not senior
like,
citizens.
I thought it was, like, people that are, like, in a senior's home. I'm like, "You're
Oh
playing
no,
Lil Boosie in a senior's home in Chicago? That's definitely a different world than Canada." Yeah.
no.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you mean,
seniors
like,
in high school. Yeah.
seniors in high school. Okay, yeah, everything that starts with Lil, don't you notice that, J.
Uh,
Jonah? It's like Lil Baby, Lil Jon, Lil this, Lil that, like, everyone's Lil these days,
little everybody,
you
baby.
know?
Little everybody.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, our parents didn't like our music. They didn't like our hip hop. They didn't like our music.
Yeah.
So they basically said it was garbage too. But when I
Mhm.
listen to the hip hop now, I'm like, like people don't even have to have a talent. They just put a synthesizer or put some machine over themselves. Like, my nephews can do that. Actually, they did try doing that, and
Mhm.
they sounded like all the artists today. They didn't sound any different.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I've heard this in quite a few interviews as well too. This era of they call it hip hop, they don't honor their we want to call it ancestors. They think that they're the best, and they're like they created these things. And I've heard these in interviews and stuff like that too. I'm like, man, pay homage to the ones before you that paved the way. That lack of respect, I think it kind of shows in the music.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, it's
Mhm.
become this instant world, right?
Yeah.
Instant world of success, instant this, instant that. Like, look at me, when you look at kids, it's like they're not even dancing with each other. Like, I actually thought they would be a little bit more wild, like doing like a junior high party, but the boys and the girls didn't even talk to each other. Like, I had to try to place they didn't even really know what slow jams were. I had to
Mhm.
try to get them interacting with one another, and they seemed scared. Like, all the girls were together, all the boys were together, but they
Mhm.
would not interact, and they'd have their phones like this the whole time, you know?
Yeah, I had this conversation with my friend. His name is Scott. He's a musician as well. We was out in L.A. and we went to quite a few parties and kind of saw what you were saying, you know. And we both have daughters. He has one who's a freshman in college now, and then an eighth grader. You know, I'm like, you know what? I'm actually happy they don't like to do the slow dance and stuff. I have
Yeah,
a
I know.
nobody slow dance with my daughter.
Yeah. No, that's true, that's true. I brought out, like, a huge candy stick and started making fun of all of them, like, it was like a 5-foot candy stick I used for a limbo
Uh
thing. So once they started I was bad. I dared these, young boys to go up to the tallest girls to dance with them. So these
huh.
girls were, like, 6 feet in, like, grade 8, and these boys were, like, 3 feet, you
Uh
know? And they're like, "Well, what are you gonna give me? How much money are you gonna give me if I ask the girl?" So they're dancing with all these tall girls, and I took the candy stick and I said, "Look, you need to be this distance away from each other." And I
huh.
pulled the candy stick and, like, hit them. They're just laughing, like, they had a good time, but it broke the ice and they actually interacted with one another. But it
That's
was funny because the girl was, like, 6 feet and the man was, like, I don't know, pushing 4 feet. So,
uh,
yeah. But
DJ Nails in the building. This is
before
another Chicago guy there
remember
too. We have yet to
how you
meet.
doing, DJ
Nails, we
Nail?
have to find the time to meet.
Well, yeah, hopefully he'd come to your barbecue. Oh,
That
look
would
who we
be
have in the
nice.
building. I told you she'd come
Clarky,
through. Clarky, my mod Clarky.
what's up, sweetheart?
How you doing, Clarky? She's probably on top of the bus trying to get reception right now, you know?
Oh,
Yeah, for this interview. I knew she'd come through. I knew it. Yeah, good to see you. DJ Nails, yeah, you gotta come out. Hopefully I can make Chicago. Do you guys have a limit for your barbecue? How many people can attend? Like, are you capping it if there's a
no.
certain amount of people?
So I live in a condo. We have a shared space in the back. As many people want to come, they can come.
Yeah?
I'll let the neighbors and stuff know. So the barbecue will be outdoors. We have it's going to be 2 days this week though. 2 days this year. I have several locations that I'm eyeing for those who want to come in like the day before and such. So we're going to have a kind of like a vibe session, almost like a party scene there. But then we're going to have like the barbecue kind of just a hangout vibe the next day.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, that should be good. Definitely. All
Sure,
right.
but you are totally correct on that. Let's put it in these terms here. Today's music does not resonate with me. That's what I'm.
I don't think it's judging, it's just talking about music. I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about our
Mhm.
parents did, our grandparents did, we do. I think everyone has a preference. I don't think it's necessarily judging each generation,
Mhm.
but I will say it is garbage. I think a lot of music is garbage and I stand on it
Yeah,
because it is.
even some music from our time is garbage.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
I'm gonna put this out here. I might get my head chopped off, but I was not a fan of No Limit Soldier. That was trash to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I can say it's garbage because lyrically, but then again, of course, growing up in the 90s, I'm sure we had garbage lyrics too,
Yeah.
but I just feel like it's gone way, way worse, lyrically. But I
Mhm.
actually listen to lyrics. I don't think a lot of DJs or people do. So, like, I think words are power.
It is.
So, like, if you're gonna talk about, and they also talk about that, right? Even with Tupac, if
Mhm.
you listen to some of his last interviews and his cousin, they said how powerful words were,
Yeah.
right? And it
Mhm.
kind of led to the demise of his death because he kept saying, "I'm gonna die by the time I'm like a certain age."
Yep.
Like, I think I don't know how old he was. Was he 24, 25? So, but he has different songs like that. So I try my best to try to stay away, although I still like some of that music we grew up on, right?
Yep.
But I do try to stay away from certain lyrics because I think words definitely are power. So, and especially in this day and age with hip hop, the way it's kind of gone, right? And
Yeah.
what you see at concerts, you see so much stuff happening at concerts now, right?
You do. Yep.
Yeah. So even kids going out to these concerts. So you have to really know what you're intaking, and even as a DJ too, you know? But you said that your biggest thing is, R&B as well?
So you know what? I don't want to even put myself in that box as well. So the, in all honesty, if I was to have someone tag me, I would love for them to see me as an open format DJ. Um, I've done so many different events. I don't know if you're familiar with Pilsen in Chicago. That's a Latino neighborhood. Um,
Yeah.
that's that neighborhood has come up is an up and coming area too. So you think of gentrification, that's one of those areas that's up and coming as well in Chicago. The value has risen. I've done Latin sets for like I was a resident DJ there for an extended period of time.
Hmm.
Um, the North Side, where in some areas they like top 40. I've done that, and I'm a wedding DJ as well too. So um, I do 20 to 30 weddings a year, and so you get a different vibe there. So that part you don't necessarily always see on Twitch, but I try to find I guess my corner in Twitch to kind of be that R&B DJ. When the pandemic first started, I don't know if you've noticed this here too, but every DJ was on and every DJ was turning up the whole time.
Yeah, for
Now,
sure.
let
Yeah.
me let me calm down. And what's crazy is DJ Nails happened to find me on a Saturday one time. I used to DJ every Saturday from 4 to 6 during the pandemic, and
Hmm.
DJ Nails happened to pop in. He was like, "Man, this is actually pretty calm and cool." I was doing some lo-fi R&B, mellow joints, and he's like, "Man, this is pretty cool." I'm so used to seeing or hearing these DJs turn up, and so that was kind of like I said, you know what? Let me make that my niche here on Twitch.
Hmm.
Except when I'm on raid trains, I'm gonna kind of stick with the script. And so, yes, I do love. I am an R&B junkie. Let's not negate that. When everybody's listening to Tupac, I was listening to 112, Boys to Men, Babyface. I was into all of that kind of stuff like that. That was my listen. I didn't get into rap until like '96. That's when I started
Okay.
really listening to it.
Yeah, 96. Oh,
Mhm.
nice. Wow, 96. What a
Phenomenal
great.
year.
Hmm?
Phenomenal year of rap.
No, it was. I remember. I remember.
Mhm.
I don't well, I was going to ask when you graduated, but I was going to leave that out too.
That's okay. I graduated high school 2000.
Oh, okay. 2000. I'm trying to think. Okay. Yeah, so 96 would have been, I guess, junior high for you.
Yeah.
Like Biggie Smalls, Tupac, and that was a huge
All Love,
year. Puff
Harmony.
Daddy.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, what happened there, Jonah? He says horrible personal year broke up in 96.
He mentioned that to me before. I did a set called All Nothing But 90. I think the year of 96 or something like that.
He was trying to get all the ladies. That's what they're saying. What? Breezy was trying to get all the ladies?
Yeah,
DJ
I
Freak?
was too. I was too. Yes, I've
Yeah,
always up to
I
date.
could see that. Were you like a Casanova, I guess, if you're into R&B and,
So,
like a ladies man back in the day?
man, that's all perspective there. That's all perspective. It all depends on where you were. So, I was always a reserved person, and so it drew curiosity to a lot of ladies. They were so used to guys being so forward and aggressive. That was never my take. I grew up in a house full of women, and so
Mhm.
that changed my outtake in terms of how I wanted to approach day to day. And I've gotten this a lot. People look in my eyes and they say it's something mysterious about you. It's something about this area right here that draws people in sometime. And I don't know what that is.
DJ Freak Faya says, "Yep, on that R&B tip, he was pulling all the ladies."
I want to say
I
all.
don't know.
I'm a
If you
shaggy.
grew up around a lot of ladies, then yeah, I could see that. Hey, oh, I don't have a buzzer here.
Risky
I just
Rango in the building.
I
What's
just
up?
saw Risky Ringo. He always comes in hiding.
Came
Risky
in
Ringo.
Rango.
Thank you for the sub. That's my little echo effect. Thank you so much, Risky. I just saw another computer here. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. 10 months strong with me. How you doing, Risky? Good to see you. And thank you guys for some of the follows as well. Make sure everyone in the room is adding DJ RL Breezy. He does an amazing show too. He's fun, does some TikToks. We're going to definitely get into that as well. So make sure everyone in the room adds him, and feel free to follow me if you're digging the vibe. I go by DJ Honeyflow and do a talk show every Wednesday nights as well. And right now we got DJ RL Breezy too. So I'm just looking here at another computer before I miss anything. All right. So if you guys have any questions, definitely drop them in the chat for DJ RL Breezy. I think I saw a few. I'm going to try to scroll up and see. Let's see here.
I know I missed some too.
Yeah, I think I'm missing some as well. Okay, Double Spirit had a great question. She says, "When did you fall in love with hip hop?" And yep, it was a great year. Did you mention 2000? No, you graduated in
I
2000.
grabbed so 90. So I used to play ball too. So what happened was in '96. I remember this vividly as well too. I was in our coach's van going to a basketball game, and I heard Biggie. It was Biggie died in '95, right? Did he die in '95
I
or
thought it was
'94?
96. If
Was it
anyone wants
'96?
to Google it, let me know.
So after Biggie died, he had the double CD that was out afterward. That came out after his death. I know that, and I was zoning out, just getting ready for the game, and I'm listening to Biggie rhyme and his cadence. It was like, man, it was something that I'm like, wow, he is like literally storytelling. And I know Slick Rick done this before. Like I heard him in the past, but I wasn't like totally into it. Shiro said he died in '97.
97. Oh,
So
okay.
well, I was listening in '96, but this when I fell in love when I heard Biggie
Mhm.
on that album, and I said, you know what, I got to go back and listen to his work. And like I heard it before, because '94, I was on. Believe it or not, y'all, I used to be a dancer, a street dancer. We used to do the footwork and all that stuff and perform in these different places. And so I've heard his music and I listened to it. I would even say the lyrics of these rappers because you would hear it on the radio all the time, and so you'd be familiar with it, but it didn't stick. But that time I was on my way to the game, I heard it. I'm like, I got to get this album and listen to it. And so I kind of forgot about it, and just so happened my mom bought me Tupac's first album. It was what was it? I can't think of the name of this. Let me see. I'm drawing a blank of this particular Tupac album. Me Against the World, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he had so many.
That was the first rap CD I ever had. And so
Mhm.
I got into that, and then all of a sudden, I'm listening to Biggie, I'm listening to Pac, and then I get into Crucial Conflict and Bone Thugs and Harmony. I got into them, and then Jay-Z came into my life. Mimi Berry, what's up, sweetheart? Good day to you.
Good to see you, Mimi Berry, as well.
hmm And so that was so when I heard that Biggie album, when I was sitting in the car and it was just they was letting it play, it's like a press play, and he's still my all time favorite rapper. Biggie first, Jay-Z second. Then you have Common is in there, Most Def, and Black Thought. Those are like some of my all time favorite rappers.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
that's interesting for sure. All great rappers too, right? When you
Mhm.
think about it, it's like they were so wise behind their time, right? Like I can't even
Absolutely.
remember how old he was. Was he 18 or 20 years old? Like when you think about some of the lyrics that Tupac or Biggie like what they talked about, or even if it wasn't just rapping or putting on a persona, but when they talked in their interviews, they're actually pretty wise beyond their years,
Mhm.
when you listen to
Especially
them.
Pac. His
Yeah.
father was a Black Panther, and so he accumulated a lot of knowledge, probably being in that particular space. And this is me speculating. Um, I'm not, and Biggie's mom was an educator, and
Mhm.
when you're around that kind of stuff, you absorb it.
Yeah, so true. So for R&B groups, what would be your favorite then?
Whoo wee man, so um, if you pull me back to the '90s, it was Shy. That was my all-time favorite group at one point in time. I would literally sing every single song on that album. It was Shout. Then Babyface was my male vocalist, my best male vocalist. It's called All That Love stuff. I'm all about the love. So, and if you look at Babyface body of work, it all pertains to falling in love and all that kind of stuff there too. Anita Baker was one of my faves, and that, because of my mom, she used to listen to Anita Baker, and I did as well too. Whitney Houston was one of my faves. But when you go to groups, Boyz II Men was the top after Shy.
Did you dress like them too? Like have the silky tops or like, the box cuts and everything?
I had the Gumby. I had the
Is
Gumby
that what
back
it
then. I
is?
know
The
y'all
gum?
can't believe it. I got this bald head.
I should
But
have
yeah,
grabbed pictures from you back in the day. That would have been fun, to post.
and those are lost files. Nobody getting those. G14 classified files.
Oh man, that'd be funny. Hey DJ Hams, good to see you as well. Well,
DJ.
we're gonna show you guys a TikTok. We're gonna ask. I could only download two actually, but we're gonna play a TikTok for all you guys that don't know. He got into some TikToking, I guess. Was it during the pandemic as well recently? Yeah, okay. And then yours and a few of them went viral. So how many
Mhm.
people did it actually go to? Your
Man,
largest TikTok. I remember
you
you were
know,
just getting into it too, and you're like,
I,
"Oh, no one's really watching them," and look at that. Now look at you, having them
I'm
viral.
still small potatoes though, but I put this shirt on purpose. So this I was wearing this shirt in my school building, and I did this TikTok, and I believe it's around 240K now.
Yeah, that's awesome. You
240K.
never know, right?
Yep. But I
You
have
never
over
know.
600K too.
Yeah, that's crazy. You just never
Mhm.
know. Do you find that people are now adding you on Instagram? You said it
Yep.
was Instagram, right?
Yep. IG.
Yeah, that happened to a few of my friends on TikTok. It's really I don't even feel like it's really your content because you could have great content and
Yep.
really never get noticed online, and I feel like Twitch is the same way.
Yep.
But, like, if you just go viral, like, just when I interviewed, for example, uh, Jay Chalet, when I interviewed her a few weeks ago, like,
Uh-huh.
her '90s video went viral to 12 million people. And then when I check back her Facebook, I was like, "Oh, snap, she's already over 1,000,000 people right now. That's
Mhm.
insane." But she kinda talked about it as well, and it's just like the pressure, like, you're just, like, doing regular stuff like how we all are, right? And then boom, the algorithms went a bit crazy, I guess, and well, the videos are good too,
Right.
but to 12 can you imagine that? You waking up the next day, you're like, "Okay, 12 million people, like, just
Mhm.
viewed my video," and then all of a sudden your Facebook or Twitch or whatever just shoots
It
up to
blows
over
up.
1,000,000 people.
And
Like,
see now I don't even feel famous no more. You say 12 million. Dang. I'm
how
on.
would you even handle I don't even know how I would even handle that, because that's kind of a bit of pressure on social media too, right? To
It
keep
can
producing
be
content.
depending on what you're trying to achieve though too.
Mhm.
And so when I did my first few, I'll get up to like 100, maybe 300 views or something like that on some of them. And then I did this one where I was playing a Southern song, and it's like I was moving like this here on the video, and I was dancing.
Mhm.
That was the first one that like hit over like 10K, and it literally happened overnight. I posted around 12 o'clock, and all of a sudden my phone ding, 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 ding. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Hey, Tweak Music Tips, good to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. I heard you just got married a little while ago, so congratulations to you as well, you and your wife.
Congratulations. I met Tweak Music Tip on Kick the other day. He was doing
Oh,
some tips, so that's what's up. How's it going?
oh, you guys were
Evangeline
both
in the
on
building.
Kick now?
So yeah, we had a conversation via message the other day, and he was telling me about it. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and try it. And so on Sunday, I went on and did a Twitch set along with Kick, and I just popped on to see who was on, and Tweak Music Tips were on, and he was rocking out and giving
Oh,
some
nice.
tips and stuff like that. So that's why I met Tweak Music Tips at.
Okay, cool. We got DJ K Maculate. Did an interview with him a while ago too. That was really great. Good to see you in the building. And yeah, what do you guys think of Kick too? I've heard mixed reviews with that. Like I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos with it.
Yeah.
You know how it's more of a gambler's app, or I think I saw another YouTube video that said it's like the wild, wild west. So yeah, you have a DJ category, but DJs, talk shows are kind of more like smaller. Like that's not their objective. Their objective is gambling and linking with gambling companies.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of like beside kind of like OnlyFans pages, which I'm not really into at all, nor do I. I don't know. So I signed on for Kick too, and I was just watching it. I see a lot of DJs from Twitch moving over, but what do you? And can you? We even talk about that on here? I don't even know
Well,
actually,
well,
since
we
it's a
can.
competitor.
But
Maybe we should use a different name.
let's say that yeah, the below the leg app, below the leg.
Okay, below the leg app. That's what we're gonna call it.
So in my short time of checking it out, it appears to be a literally a copycat of this platform.
For sure. Yeah.
Because everything that I see on here, I saw on there. It's just that from my experience, the app is not fully baked yet. Like it needs some work done to it. It may be in beta right now, I believe, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
it is. It is. Yeah.
And so when I was doing some research on it, from a guy who kind of went over some information, from his mouth to my ears, is that the owner or someone who has some affiliation with Twitch has moved over to that particular platform.
Yeah, they
And that's
have. Yeah.
probably okay. So that is correct. It's not just speculation.
Well, I heard it was like
And
a
so,
gambler that got kicked off because there's more moderation on Twitch. So, I
mhm,
mean, correct me if I'm wrong, right? You guys probably might know. I mean, the thing that's great with streamers, of course, it's like 95% return that you get compared to the, you
yeah,
know, 5%, which is large for us because let's face it, Twitch is not for DJs. Like it's allowed us to be on here, but we kind of invaded a gamer's app. It doesn't really do I don't know a whole lot in terms of for DJs if you want to grow and
hmm
depends if you want to make a business out of this or if it's just for fun, I
hmm
guess. But it's not really made, I think, for DJs.
no,
So I guess that's a good incentive for the other app, right?
it's definitely an incentive to bring people over to help them develop, a bigger platform and to bring in income. It's always a good business there too.
Yeah. The only thing
And,
is I don't like the moderation of like you're seeing everything.
yeah.
Like, so for me, I'm not into like only fan pages like maybe a lot of other people would be. So I don't
Mhm.
really want to be seeing that kind of content or, maybe gambling. I'm not into that. So like, I don't know. So that's where I feel kind of pulled. Like, should I give it a try or should I not? You know what I
Well,
mean?
see it like you know how you do with radio. You set your if I don't know if we do this anymore, but on your radio in the car, you set the stations you want to watch. So we have the ability to filter what we want. And I think we do that here too, because I mean, you have some shenanigans on Twitch as well too, and I know sometimes they catch it, but those shenanigans exist on the World Wide Web. Period. So
True, but then I guess some YouTubers were saying that it's like the total wild, wild west there. So like everything and anything goes, and it's not really where you can control channels, but it's constantly in your face like that too, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I've heard mixed reviews, like trying to research it on YouTube and watching different DJs on there. So I
mhm.
guess it depends what you're into and what you can tolerate or what you don't really want to,
Yeah.
and
And
yeah.
see here on Twitch too. When I go on Twitch on my phone, I literally have it set on the following page. I don't go to I barely ever use the explore page. I'm kind of limited in that part, and I stay
Mhm.
there. I don't go outside of that with just the following page. So I basically filter how I utilize Twitch. I can go out and look at other musicians and stuff like that and build if I want in that case there, but I choose to kind of stay within, I guess, my comfort zone in that space there.
Mhm. So
Somebody
Twitch
put something in the question here.
Twitch
Mad Live. I'm shy when I'm on camera like this, but
Yeah, I
we'll
was
see
gonna
what.
ask.
All
Everyone keeps calling you Trouble. Like ever since I brought you on my show, everyone's like, "Oh man,
right.
RL Breezy, here's trouble." I'm like, "What kind of trouble? I haven't really seen too much trouble from
I
you."
be trying to tell folks that.
But
So um,
everyone keeps saying that you're trouble. Like everyone has said that to me. I'm
okay,
like, "But what trouble do you start? I don't really see much from you."
Shay Tay. So Shay Tay, she kind of put it out there. That's the secret to the sauce right there. How you doing, love? So here's the
Hey,
deal with
mad
me,
love.
Honey Flow. When I'm on my stream, um, I'm the most comfortable because I basically kind of control the narrative in that case there, and I use whatever's in the chat to kind of bring to some, I guess, some fun to the chat. One of the big things is, and Freaky Fire said it earlier, she has this notion that she felt that I got all the girls, all the ladies back when I was in school and stuff
Yeah,
like
I can
that.
see that. 300%. Don't even try to play innocent. I already know that.
But
We all know that. All the ladies know that.
and see, and that's what, see, you all make that speculation there, and then all of a sudden I become trouble. But it's funny how it all started. So when we go back to when I actually started DJing on my own channel, me being a school teacher, I take a lot what I've learned in certain fields and I put it into DJing to try to make it the best experience possible. And I
Mhm.
know here on Twitch, we just can't just play music anymore. We have to be entertainers as well.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I mentioned earlier, I try to find my own little niche in my little corner here in Twitch. And so it all started by me playing R&B, and I played a Janet Jackson song, and I saw a video. I'm like, man, she's beautiful. And somebody like, man, here you go. And then I played another female artist. I'm like, man, she beautiful. You know what? That's Bay. She's Bay. And so I kind of started this. Every beautiful female artist was Bay, and they was like, hey, you can't have all the girls. And that kind of became their persona in that case there. And then
Yeah,
so
don't you have Twitch bays? I heard about those too.
I have a lot of them.
We're gonna find the real
Allegedly.
tea on
Allegedly.
we're gonna find out you have a lot of them. We're gonna find out the real tea on you today.
You're gonna get all the tea from me.
We're gonna
So
oh, yeah, go ahead.
that translated into someone had asked me one time to, like, hey, tell me one of your DJ stories. And I'm out DJing a lot, and I have this little salt and pepper here. Um, Sometimes that's we know grown women like grown men, and sometimes that can be something that attracts you to them. And also, I mentioned to you earlier, I'm about relationship building, and so when somebody gets good energy, it almost don't, for especially for women, the look don't always become the priority. It's the energy that they bring. And so me DJing, I'll have events where older ladies would come and say, hey, you're handsome, can I take you home, and those sort of things. And so I would tell these stories. uh,
Really?
they would seem outlandish, but I'm like, these are like true stories. And
Wow, they're pretty forward.
yes, they
The
are.
old
They
ladies.
very, very aggressive.
Older women, I should say.
So, and that this have scaled in different capacities too, not just the older women. Miss Sweetie always getting on me. She think I'd be lying. I have to give her receipts. I go to these spaces, and people are attracted because, for one, I'm very, very friendly. And in today's society, when a guy comes off as a friendly person, some people take it as flirting, and that's not always the case. And so when I'm out and about and I'm DJing, I may wink at somebody because they're having a good time, but it's not a wink and like, hey, come here, sweetie. It's like, I got you. I know you like that song. Kind of move on. So um, these stories became part of my stream. And you see, she's throwing in the chat talking about some fibs because I don't pay for bags at Target because the ladies, they see my facial cleanser and they be like, it's popping. You can have whatever you want.
Oh my gosh, are you
Hey,
serious? So
look,
you're
where
flirting
my
with your
Bible
free
at? Where's my
bags?
Bible? I don't pay for bags at Target. Um, I've had many cases where people would do favors. Um, One, I'm a friendly person. Two, my facial cleanser, my hoochie daddy shorts.
You don't
And
ever get in trouble by your wifey? I'm curious about that. Or your wifey just has to tolerate it?
so we've had conversations about that. on a few occasions. Here's the deal, and we both had to come to realization here. Obviously, I'm a DJ. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in some capacities, being a DJ, you have a level of power that some women are attracted to. I could be just a regular dude at Burger King, and I probably wouldn't get the attention that I do as a DJ. That's just the reality of it. And so there's been situations where someone will say something and I respond back. She wasn't too happy about it, but I say, "Hey, it's you already know me. I know my wife since we were 12.
Oh, wow.
So we known each other forever. We know so she knows my personality. She knows I have a kind heart, and so there's areas where she don't like, but she accepts it because she knows I'm coming home.
Mm-hmm.
And so yes, I have gotten in trouble a few times.
Is it
Just
the Hoochie Daddy short videos that get you in trouble? Or
no, I didn't get in trouble for that.
oh, okay.
Because
Or
I literally go outside with
or is it
the
the Twitch bays in the chat? All the Twitch wifeys in the chat, maybe?
no.
Well, we won't get you in trouble today. We got Liddell, the DJ. How you doing? Good to see you.
Mhm.
And oh, Shayte says he was wearing Hoochie Daddy shorts. I haven't seen that. Apparently, I've been missing a lot. I guess on Twitch.
See, I got a little hole in the wall string. Everybody don't come to see me, maybe because I am too much trouble. I don't know what it may be. I think we missed a lot of points in the chat. I guess we'll come back to those.
He plays
Uh,
Duck Duck Dodge. I don't even know what that is actually.
so I'll give you some background on that too. So I flirt. So that's
Mhm.
what I do flirt, and my wife knows that I flirt. It's fun. Shay Tay just said it as well too. You know, sometimes you have to be able to kind of let your shoulders down. When I'm working, I'm so serious when it comes to work and stuff like that. I need a space to kind of drop my shoulders and have a good time.
Mhm.
And I do that. And I do that here on Twitch. And so that's one of the reasons I'm called trouble because I do flirt. Uh,
Mhm. Do your
some
kids ever your students ever see your shows if you teach?
they come in, man, they are so damn nosy.
I wonder how they found that out. Well, I guess they know your DJ name. Wow. They're
But you
probably
know what?
watching you a lot more than you think.
They no, so I know it now. So let me tell you this here. So I'm on spring break this week. Last week, so I'm in the middle school and the high school. I don't too much associate with the high school people. We're on a different side of the building, but we all have the same cafeteria. So I'm walking to the cafeteria, and this lady walks up to me and she say, "I guess you for the streets, huh?" I'm looking like, "Huh? What you talking about?" And if you watch that TikTok, the one that blew up,
Mhm.
she she happened to find it on the explore page.
Oh.
So me going viral like that, a lot of people have found it, and it's like it spread like hot fire. So the whole school know that I'm for the streets now.
Oh,
That's
no.
apparently, but the kids, you know, they are on these platforms all the time, and so they say, "Miss Lee, I saw you on the Explore page. That one you did with your son was hilarious." And I was,
Mhm.
boy, go mind your business. Get out of mine, dude. You know, and they find it funny too.
Oh gosh. So we're going to get into guys one of his TikToks then. I have a few of them. So we're going to play it. Let me know what you guys think of this. TikTok, it went viral, over 200,000 people on Instagram. So let's get into this one. Let's see if this works. Oh, okay. So the first one,
Look at
those
this. So I'm still getting notifications from that right now.
oh, that's crazy. So the first one, explain those TikToks. I couldn't download the third one. It wouldn't let me.
Okay. Uh, so the first one, it was related to my students. So I try to incorporate my TikToks to some things that I experience in life. So some part of it is exaggerated and some part of it is actually true. So this one here that you just saw was, the kids always want to know a teacher's personal life. They want to be connected to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I do, there's the positive side, what people don't see. I'm always teaching my boys in the classroom to respect the ladies. And I'm always teaching my young girls to, hey, I need you to be seen and not heard. So kind of work on those things. So they always getting a valuable lesson in the classroom. And so when we get into that, they're like, man, Mr. Lee, I bet you was a player. I'm like, no. And like, how many girlfriends have you had in your life? And on this video, that was a question. How many girlfriends have you had in your life? And when I got to 4, someone yells out, he's for the streets.
Oh
Kids
man.
are that way. And so kids that do that kind of stuff there too. But that was all in the joke. They didn't necessarily say he for the streets. They were like, man, Mr. Levy getting all the girls. And so
Mm-hmm.
I put it in a different context to make it, to sell the audience in that case there.
Yeah, for sure. Did you
Mhm.
just started getting into TikToking like during the pandemic or before?
So I'm gonna say afterwards. This is all new to me. I literally started at this particular school year. I wasn't into it, but once again, I read this book. I forgot the artist's name, but when you are trying to, I guess, put yourself in a position to be on the forefront in some capacity, you have to find ways to find your niche. I know with Twitch, I do R&B and stuff like that. And, you have to find a way to build your audience, and sometimes you have to go push buttons or push the envelope. And how do you do that? You got to get people into your eyes, into your page. And so,
Do you ever have people say like, "What are you doing?" Like grade sixers do TikTok. I heard that when I first started TikToking.
you
They're
said
like,
what
"Yeah."
I'm doing?
Like I heard comments like, "My grade sixers do TikToking. Why are you TikToking? Like, why are you bringing that to Twitch too?" But I feel like that can embody your personality, right? Like if
It
you like
does. It does.
comedy or you like to inspiration or like to have fun, like
Hmm.
TikTok is really like that, I
It
think.
is. It is. But TikTok is a hard nut to crack in that case there. I think the most I probably have is like 3,000 kind of things like that. But IG has been like that area that really supports me in that space.
Yeah,
Mhm.
IG. How and no, you still have your account actually on TikTok, but you're focused more on IG, right?
Yeah,
Like doing
that's
it there?
my I guess my main potato. So I would start it on IG, then I would put it on TikTok and
Oh,
occasionally Facebook. Anytime it comes to like my teaching part, that goes on Facebook too. If it has something to do with my hoochie daddy shorts or me, in that capacity, it's usually IG and TikTok. So it kind of falls in that particular space there.
yeah, you should do more videos like that. That'd be hilarious. Like, have you seen those videos where the girls are catcalling the guys outside in the car?
Uh,
Those are hilarious.
I
And then
have I have about 6 of them that I haven't even shared yet. So I do them and hold them in my pocket for a while, and then I put them out. I guess when the iron is hot.
when the iron's hot. What do you
Hmm.
think of TikTok too? I mean, there's a lot of I guess security. I was almost thinking about deleting my account because I'm hearing so many things with
Hmm.
TikTok too, like the privacy and just, with everything with the app.
Hmm.
So I've met a few guys that are like actually in the army too here, and they're just like, I'd never like sign up for TikTok. There's so many things
Yeah.
that you don't know. I don't know. What do you think of that? I guess.
So I don't put a lot of stock in TikTok. I say like my bread and butter is more so IG. So
Oh, okay.
it's kind of like if it does well, it does well. If it don't, I just move on. So I don't put too much stock in it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So
Mhm.
how did you land on Twitch then, DJing? And how long has it been for you as well?
So for my own page, officially March made 3 years. I've landed on here. I was, here's the thing. So before a lot of people were DJing online, I was already doing that. I was in clubs and I would set my phone up and let people see me DJ. And that was part of my marketing strategy to let people know that I was a DJ because, I started in 2009. I wasn't known as in Chicago because, like, Chicago was big, and there's so many DJs here, so many dope DJs here. I was DJing in the suburbs, so I didn't have a name in Chicago, and so my strategy was to let people see me on Facebook, like, hey, I DJ, without me saying, hey, I DJ. I'm actually was DJing, and let them see my sets. Um, and I had the iRig. It's over here somewhere. I had the iRig before everybody had it, probably, and I was DJing that way. So they're like, "Man, how is this dude getting this clear sound and whatnot?" And the iRig. And so fast forward to the pandemic, I have a friend here in Chicago. She goes by the name of Fathom DJ. She's been doing this over 40 years. We happened to connect through a mutual friend. She was selling records, and I wanted some records, and so we met up. And from there, she had this idea. Say, hey, I want to collect a group of people who I know are dope people who can curate music. There's this Twitch app that Vince Adams is telling everybody they should join. And so we went to, had a conversation about how we work. And so I DJ with Parlor Den. This is a lounge in Atlanta. We were going to, we kind of basically like setting the tone. So when the pandemic ends, we can have this venue space to DJ in different parts of the country. So we wanted to start with Parlor Den. And so I was using my iRig and my phone, and we were DJing on Twitch through her channel, or through that channel for Parlor Den, to build that brand and also to build us as a team.
Okay. So do you have any goals for Twitch and what you want to do, or are you kind of just doing it for fun, or do you want to grow, make partner? Like, do you have any goals in mind?
I am so up and down with that. With anything, you have those moments where you do want to grow, you want to be partner, but I have to ask myself, like, why would I want to be partner? What benefit do I gain from it? And so what I found was I'm not going to gain anything from being partner other than a little check mark. So currently, because we're fickle to some degree, currently right now, that's not a priority of mine. What I do love about Twitch is, people like Mrs. Sweetie, Shay Tay, Liddell, you all are this area where we can kind of be ourselves and have a good time. Like when I tell you, I work hard outside of Twitch, and this is kind of like my space where we get to kind of relax. I get to play music how I want to do it, and for those who want to come in and enjoy it, you can. And on top of that, I do love to make people smile and laugh. I'm not a comedian. Let's put that out there. But I do enjoy doing that part. So, and that's me today. Next week, I may say, hey, I want to be partner again. I'm just going to
Yeah.
be
I hear what
totally
you're
honest
saying.
in that space there.
I'm glad you said that too, because, sometimes when you interview people, they're just like, oh no, I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not interested. But then when you get off the interview, they're like, oh, the analytics, how many numbers, this. It's just like, you could just be honest. There's nothing wrong with saying what you want to achieve, right? Because
Hmm.
you all work really hard
Yeah.
streaming. You
Hmm.
want to kind of grow, you want to see an outcome too, right? But
Yeah.
so I find it
Hmm.
kind of interesting, but I'm glad you mentioned that because I feel the same way. You have different days. Some
Yeah.
days you want to go this direction, other days you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I just want a release kind of thing, like just have this for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mad Life says you need the space, you definitely need the space. Shay Tay's like, absolutely. Um, oh, jeez. Liddell, the DJ's like, much more people to flirt with at the partner level.
Liddell, you are so silly, man. But with that being said, let me be honest in this capacity as well, too. I want to definitely be very honest with this here. Would I like to see more numbers or more people in my chat? Yes, that's definitely. But you know what? And I have to look at it like this here too. Am I personally ready for that? I've been
Mhm.
on radio trains where it may be 60 or 70 people that may pop in, and I can't keep up with all them people. I know I can't. And so, like when I say I want to make people happy and have a good time, I'm going to miss those people, and I hate that I have to miss them. They could have said hi 10 times. I'm over here squinting on my phone trying to find who said what, and I'm trying. You like you said, it's hard work. You trying to play music, You trying
Yeah,
to
it's
make
a
sure that
lot.
song is right. You trying to make sure your scenes are okay. You trying to people texting me or calling me. I'm like, man, dude, you know I'm streaming right now. Stop calling me. So all these different things are going on, and so I asked myself, am I ready to have a big audience like that on Twitch? And being honest, I don't know if I'm necessarily ready for that. With
Hmm.
having enough support. Like I want to give huge shout out to Miss Sweetie. She like literally stepped in, and when I tell you, I was so resistant to like I don't want any. I don't necessarily. I want, but I don't want mods because my whole thing is I want everybody to enjoy it. Panda reached out to me as well too, so I appreciate her as well. Like I hate that, and it's crazy. Like I hate that to have mods. I want them to enjoy as well. So I don't want you to feel like work. I
Yeah,
want,
for sure.
I want, and like I mentioned my barbecue thing. Like I don't want it to be called a meetup. I'm different in it where I want everybody to enjoy themselves. I don't want
Hmm.
work.
Yeah, that makes sense. The Mrs. Sweet Ann, hey Panda, I saw you earlier too. Says making partners should be an organic process, but is it really organic? Because I don't see too many people that make it organically.
Yeah,
It's
right.
usually like working with teams of people or
It's strategic.
strategizing. It's a lot. I
Yep.
find with people.
I had a
So
group. I had a group. Some people reached out to me about that too, asked me about my intent, and at that time I said, you know what, that wouldn't be a bad thing for me to make partner. And we had some meetings and like that, but then after a while, like I said, sometime my mood changed. Today I'm feeling one way, the other day I'm feeling another way. And so,
mhm.
and honestly, like I said, with DJing, I DJ a lot outside of the house. Um,
Yeah,
being
what type of gigs do you do outside too in real time as well?
So mostly, I do a lot of weddings. I do a lot of weddings. I do a lot of. It seems like I get a lot of 50th birthday parties, a lot of private parties like that. But I'm even changing gears that way too because people will reach out to me and say, "Hey, can you do this raid training?" And I'm like, "Man, I got a wedding Saturday," and so I want to change that to strictly corporate. I'd rather do 4-hour parties than to do 12-hour days. And like I said, when I do weddings, when I tell you I'm fully invested in that particular wedding, a wedding can start at 4 o'clock. I'm up at 8 o'clock prepping for it the whole day.
I know it's a
My
lot.
whole mind is there. Yep.
That's great
And,
you get so many
mhm.
weddings. How do you balance out like, okay, you have a family. I mean, I'm sure your kids are much older now, but family and then DJing, streaming, and also teaching. That's a lot.
I'm going to add something else to you. I coach too. I coach girls basketball, coach girls volleyball.
Oh, wow. How do
Mhm.
you find time for everything?
I'm a person I need to keep moving. And this being realistic with family, and if there are some people in who are married or in a very serious relationship, let's be totally honest. Do you want to, or you think it's reasonable to spend all of your time with your mate? That's the question for you all, and then I'll come back and respond to that as well too. I'm curious to see what people have to say about that, or even your kids. Time is very precious. Time is valuable, and for me, realistically, I shouldn't be spending all that time with all those people. I need to live my life as well too.
Mhm.
And the time that I spend with my family, it is quality. That's the most important thing when you spend time, that it is quality time. And so Fridays you may not see me on Twitch as much or anybody's channels as much. Sundays is vague in that way too. You may catch me on some days during the week where I'm here. I'm like all up in the Twitch scenes. But let's just say, for example, yesterday, um, my mother and my sister, we spent time. We went to comedy show and we spent some valuable time together. That was that time for them. Right before our stream, I took my son and my daughter. We went for my daughter to turn in an application, and I said, "Hey, let's go for brunch." So we went and spent some quality time and ate brunch before we came here.
Oh, that's
And
good.
early this morning, my wife and I, we spent an hour and a half just talking about life and real things and stuff like that. So
That's great you have that balance, because when you get an online, sometimes that balance is not always there, right? So it's good to have that balance in real time, And yeah, I'm watching some of your comments, you guys. I know Shay Tay mentioned so many relationships are suffering because of people spending too much time and getting caught up on Twitch. This ain't Twitch Tinder. Yeah,
And
I
so you are right. That's the key word, balance. And I'll be totally transparent here. I'm not the best at balancing, but I do reflect a lot, and then I try to make sure that I put that time in with people I find very important to me. And you know what? Believe it or not, I know she said Twitch ain't Twitch Tinder, but I've have developed some really close relationships with people here on Twitch that I either see in real life or we would message each other time for time. So what's important to me are true organic relationships. That's very important to me.
100% agree. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But do you think people are real as they are in front of the camera and behind the camera? I asked a few people that I interviewed last week on that, and they said no, like no one is real in front of the camera. Um, I don't know if I completely agree with that. I would like to take people as face
Mhm.
value that what I'm seeing is how they actually are too. But maybe I could be a bit naive to that. I don't know. What do you guys think, and what do you think about that?
That's an easy answer to me. Time reveals everything. That's all you need is enough time in front of a person, and you'll find out who they really are. You let a person let you know who you are, and I do. I put on a persona on Twitch. It's a tad bit exaggerated, but as you probably can tell, I am a reserved person. But
Mhm.
I can't let loose. But that takes time to let loose when you get a chance to really know who that person is.
Yeah.
You know what I
DJ
mean?
Ham says I'm actually an 80-year-old. I'm actually an 80-year-old woman. That was hilarious, DJ Hams. Well, you could be because we don't know. Your picture looks like it's from 1982. So, I mean, you very well I would be shocked if I found out you were a woman right now. Yeah, DJ Mad Live, I feel like he's a real one too. Shay Tay, a lot of great people in this chat. Mad
Hmm.
Live says, I don't do fake. I don't either. Because it just takes too much effort, I think. There are personas for sure. It is entertainment.
Yeah,
But even with that, I feel like that takes a lot of effort to do, you
it
know?
does. But and maybe the check can tell me that. I don't know if they ever sense that I'm being fake. I'm okay with you being honest. I am all about taking criticism. My love language is words of affirmation. So I do encourage you to kind of tell me if I'm doing a good job or bad job or those sort of things there. But to my understanding, I'm organic and real from what you see. You can tell that I'm genuine about what I do. That's my take.
Yeah. And you like to have fun, like, that shows in your streams?
Mhm.
So, like, I agree with that.
Mhm.
Let's see here. I'm just looking at some of the comments. So, can you think of any, like, funny moments you've had on Twitch or on your shows? Anything crazy or funny that's happened?
Man, it's always a funny time on my stream. Whether I'm telling a story, when I tell you I have stories for days. Um, I can go on and on. And I mentioned this we was on the Troublemaker stream. Um, I even take my flaws and I use them against myself to make it funny too. So I don't have this big TV in front of me when I'm DJing. It's either my iPad in front of me or I may pull up my phone or something like that to check the chat. And Diva came into my stream. This was on the R&B raid train, and I'm trying to read through the chat. It's going through fast, and I'm trying to mix in my next song. And I look at
Mhm.
the chat. Diva responds to what I said, and I said, "Girl, you say you making love in the chat?" Obviously, I didn't read it correct, and I said it out loud. I meant to say it in my head, but I said it out loud. And it was kind of a funny moment there too. And then I said, you know what, I'm from public school. We have this stigma that people that went to public school not the best readers or stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I have no problem embarrassing myself. It's kind of And I learned it from teaching though too, because the kids need to see something silly to kind of get your mind.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so that's one thing there. They be coming for me in the chat, talking about I'm lying and stuff like that when I tell them my stories.
Yeah,
Uh,
none of them believe you. Everyone thinks you're like the biggest player, and they're just like, "Here's trouble." And a lot of the ladies were saying that. I'm like, I've not seen any trouble really out of you. I
yeah,
mean, I
because
saw a few gray short things that I thought were hilarious or funny. Some of your TikToks.
hmm
I mean, I would consider this one more trouble. This Leroy character is a lot more trouble than you are.
I've been trying to tell folks, but you know what? I'm the flirt trouble guy. So I may I guess lure someone in, and I don't know how they felt me entice them in that way. So I may,
Yeah,
you
what happens if someone really likes you? Then what are you gonna do? Like, you kinda casually flirt, you're gonna that can get you in trouble. I don't wanna sound like your mother, but or like Barbara Walters or anything on you, which they do call me,
hmm
but, that can get you in trouble. You gotta I
you
don't
know
know.
what? It can, but you know what? I know myself.
Mhm.
I do have self control. Shay Tay said it quite a few times too. I think a majority of us on Twitch, especially the ones who tend to be in the channel with me or we be in other spaces, we know that it's fun and games. This is our chance to kind of have a good time. You know,
Mhm.
um, but there have been those who came. So um, I have a lot of times where people will come in and ask me, "Am I single?" But it's always showing. I
Yeah,
scratch
you
my
clearly see
hand so we
that.
see it. And believe it or not, on most of my reels, I subliminally would do something like this here with this hand, and it's to kind of show homage, pay homage to my wife, like let people know that I am married. But I do have, I would say, during the reels, I have a lot of people winning my DMs to kind of say, hey,
Yeah, because
what's up?
some women don't care, right?
They
They don't
don't.
it could be a challenge if you have a ring on. They're like, he's married. I don't really care." So,
Mhm.
there's a lot of women out there too. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways,
Mhm. And
I've
so, Mr.
seen
Sweetie,
everything.
you are right. I don't know Miss Sweetie said the facial cleanser don't work on her.
Yeah, that was
It's,
hilarious. I was
it's
trying
the
to look at that comment.
she like the hoochie daddy short, so I'm gonna have
That
to
is
put
so
hoochie daddy
funny.
on her.
The Mrs. Sweet is like the facial cleanser definitely doesn't work on her, but he's saying the hoochie daddy shorts do
That's what got
work
her
on
in.
you. Hmm?
That's what got her in here.
You gotta do that's what got you in. You gotta do, like, a video at the gym. I think that would be hilarious.
You said a video on the gym?
Flirting is good for the heart until
It
someone
is,
has an
Clark.
affair. Oh, okay, Clarky. Jeez. Let's see here. I'm just checking here.
And
Uh,
Shay mentioned, how many married men. Yep, I know that
oh,
Shay.
DJ Mad Lives, like, that's a friendship ring.
Oh, it's a friendship ring. Okay. He's that silly. But to loop back to your question though too, you like, what if someone likes me, right? Um, I will respectfully say, I am married. I am happily married. Believe it or not, my wife is my best friend. We've known each other for a long time. Um,
Yeah,
she
how long have
is.
you guys been together for or married for? That's a long time, since 13?
I've been married for 17 years.
Wow.
hmm
Oh. Can
September
you give any
16th.
advice on that? Like, someone being married for that long? Because obviously you probably grow and change. Do
And
you
you
have
do,
any advice on that, on keeping
yes, absolutely. So I always say this here because I consult with wedding couples all the time. And I like to get them the real, and I want them to kind of know who I am before they actually have me as a DJ, so we can have that relationship too. Like I always
Mhm.
go back to relationships are very, very important. Um, so the biggest thing is what tends to happen is men think that women will stay the same.
Hmm.
Women think that they can change a man. That's the biggest misconception that we have. That's one of the downfalls of long lasting relationships because we come in with that mindset.
Mhm.
The second part is, and I always say this here, what's more better than marrying your best friend? When you know a person ins and outs, you know their flaws, you decide if you want to grow with them and embrace their changes as they grow up, because we continue to grow up and evolve. I think that makes a very big difference when you marry your best friend and you embrace their changes along the way.
Mhm. 17 years is not long? Are you serious, Twitches? That's pretty long, I think. That's a good run because these days you don't really see marriages lasting super long, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's some good advice as well.
Mhm. One more thing too,
Mhm.
gentlemen, always don't ever stop courting your woman. Because so a lot of people think when you get married, that's the end game, and it's not. That's just the beginning. You just started a whole new life together. The expectations change, and like, so you have to be prepared for those changes in a woman. A woman evolves all the time. A guy can become complacent real quick,
Hmm.
and that's just the nature of guys. We conquer and we're good. But women, we want. I said we, not we. Women want a little bit more, or different as time changes. And I'm speaking for a majority. I know some people are different. There's exceptions to the rules, but I think those things are very important.
Yeah, no, that's some great advice. Hey, Jersey Q, I see you. You just stepped in the building.
Details of marriage.
Apparently, I can't say stepped in the back door because everyone was correcting me in the UK. Do not use back door or front door. I'm like, oh, because
Shay
I
takes
always
probably
said
the
stepped in
question.
the back door. I didn't think anything was wrong with that.
I
I,
say it.
maybe in Canada it means something else, but everyone in the UK was going crazy with me, like bugging me.
Uh-huh.
Um, okay, so Shay Tay's got a great question. She says,
Yeah.
what advice do you have for those who are trying to date with the intentions of marriage? I get told I'm too picky, but I haven't found what I deserve. I want a life partner, not just a warm body in bed. Oh wow, this is definitely
That's a
going
good
into
one.
the relationship show now. So
And
what advice would you give to yeah, people that are trying to date with intentions for marriage?
you got to be upfront and honest about that, right from the jump. Um, Take your time with that person and get to know who they are. He go me being a science teacher, because I do teach science. Um, from a biological standpoint, once you get into a relationship, or you have eyes for someone, or feelings, you get this, what we call euphoric feeling. Once this euphoric feeling takes over, it blocks the signals that goes to your logical side of your brain. And so that's where a lot of people fall short. We lose that sense of logic, and we're so caught up into this particular euphoric feeling, and that disrupts our logical mind frame of kind of knowing what's going on. And so I've seen in many cases, and I teach in the inner city. I see these parents, and I kind of see their lifestyle as it goes on. Um, they get caught into a situation where they become single parents, because what, the signs are always there, and we have an issue with believing that that person is who they show you that they are. And when we fall into that, all of a sudden, from it becoming cute to becomes a hindrance, to it becomes a session where you can't stand that person, and now you're a single parent, or you wasted your time in that relationship. So logic is very important. I know guys, and from a scientific standpoint, this is scientific research, males tend to stand on their logic. Women have a sense of standing on their emotions. And that's, once again, there are exceptions to the rules on both sides, because we do take on traits from our environment.
Mhm.
So
Or don't men stand more on physical than logic and women are more emotional?
so you're speaking from a different standpoint now. Now we're talking about the sense of courtship. That's another area when we are physical creatures.
Mhm.
Symmetry makes a big role of a difference from a scientific standpoint in terms of what we are attracted to, but we think a lot with logic, believe it or not. And so you do have a conflict in that particular space there. And I say in my household, we have a balance in that world where I'm the logical guy, my wife is free flowing, but she respects my logic, and she see how over time, my track record has shown how it has benefited the family.
Hmm.
But she also jumps into that logical standpoint at some time too. Does it work? Is she good at it? She's okay, but she has someone here to lean on in that case there. And guess what I struggle with sometimes? The emotional part sometimes. And so, like I'm so big on the logic that that gets me in trouble in the house sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely are created differently, even if
Mm-hmm.
people choose to say we're not. We definitely are. Mad Life is like, I'm going to be quiet now. This is going left. Yeah, this is kind of going left, actually. Let's
You
see.
were just trying to answer the question though, Shaytel. Hopefully, I answered your question in that case there.
No,
Um,
you did. I think you did. It's good hearing different perspectives, right? So it's
mhm.
good to always learn. Yeah, and Jersey Q's like, you better preach and teach.
That's my guy, Jersey Q, coming back to Chicago again too. He enjoyed Breezy's Beats, Brews, and Barbecue the first year. Man, come back. Let's have another good time, man.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys have any questions for RL Breezy, make sure you guys are definitely putting them in the chat. Any questions for him, definitely post them. That would be good. And yeah, well, that's interesting. It's a good perspective. I always like learning too from people that are married or have been doing it for a while. And I think 17, 18 years is an amazing, that's a huge like accomplishment. A lot of people just tend to give up, right?
And
Because
that's the world we live in. It's unfortunate that we have been trained through social media to think a certain way. It's unfortunate now that a lot of people today we can't even fully be ourselves because we worry about what the next person thinks, and that's unfortunate. We should all be able to organically be ourselves and be okay with that. And I'm that way. I'm totally that way. Like I say on my stream, I'm going to do the stream how I want to do it. I don't care how anybody else doing that stuff. I'm going to do it my way. Those who comes, you are totally welcome to be in that space. And I definitely value that time. I always say, I'm very appreciative. Everybody in this chat right here too. Your most precious gift is time. And that's one thing that we all, when we get older, as we get older, we see more and more how valuable your time is.
Yeah, it's so true. No, and Shete, I'm glad you asked that question. It's always good hearing more of a deeper perspective on things. So, no, I appreciate that. Thanks for asking that question too. Let's see here. I don't know what Mad Live was referring to when he said it was going left. But DJ J Jonas says he's been married for 19 years. That's so
Woo.
amazing. That's such an accomplishment too. And Mad Life 30 years. And just a plug for you guys, I'm going to be having a men's panel on my show next week. I'm really excited about. And you'd be great to come on too. I don't know. We're trying to have not so many because I think if you have 10 people on, it just gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
But I would definitely love to have you on to share more of your perspective
Okay.
on different things. But it's going to be my first one next week. So DJ J Jonah is going to be on it. DJ Mad Live. We got DJ Lockdown, DJ Elegance. I think I asked DJ Allier. All really, really amazing, great guys too. And
Yeah.
so they're going to be, definitely talking. We're going to be talking men's talk. I'm just going to be facilitating.
Yeah.
So I just want to, hear from your perspectives on things and relationships. And so if you guys have any questions, especially for men, to inbox me because I'll need all the help and all those questions too. But you give a great perspective too. So I'd love to have you on maybe if we do a part 2 series.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be next week, guys. Watch out. These are all great, solid guys, including RL Breezy. So make sure you guys look out for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm seeing if there's any other questions in the chat here.
Yeah, some rolled through. I know Twitch asked about my 15 minutes of fame. That's it's random. That generally goes if I have enough time at work. I generally get to work early, and I set up my classroom. And if I have time, I would jump on IG and do a quick 15-minute session. Sometimes it's 20, depending on what time the kids come. So, as I always say, if someone you hear people in the chat, and it's become cliche now. They say DJs, put your time, put your stuff in the text, in the stream, in the chat. I always say, just turn your notifications on. If you want to come, you're going to come. You don't need a schedule, and we all capable of turning our notifications on. So if you want to be there, you'll be there. So just turn your IG notifications on, and you get a notification that I am live.
Okay, awesome. I know there's so many. No, I have mine turned off because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's always like bing, bing, bing. So I'm like, anytime I could jump on Twitch. Why don't you mention your days and your shows too? Like when you're
Mhm.
on?
Yep. Um, my normal schedule is Wednesdays, Thursdays, and I say Saturdays while supplies last. And the reason why I say that is, I do weddings. I do a lot of weddings on Saturdays, and if I'm doing a wedding, Twitch is out of my head. I'm going to kind of focus on that. But here is my problem, and I said I was going to kind of change this mindset here. Like we said, we develop a lot of friendships here on Twitch, and the more people you gain into your circle, the more you find that they're streaming the same days you are. And so I'm like, you know what? I want to support them. And so I do a lot of not to, I would miss a lot of my Wednesdays because I want to support other people, but I gotta kind of change that mindset. If I want to be here and have a good time with folks, I'm gonna do what I do.
Oh,
So
snap. Oh, wow. We just got a raid. Sorry about that. I
that's
just
what we got
I,
coming in.
I looked at another computer here and I nearly missed it because like I rarely look at this computer. I'm always looking at the chat. So you
Right.
always see my eyeballs moving. Is there a
Mhm.
way on StreamYards you could put the chat under you so your eyeballs aren't like shifting?
I
Hey,
wish I could. Yeah, because I have a computer over here
that's what I
looking at
need
the
because
background.
people say you should not be posting on the chat or looking at it. It looks distracting,
Yeah.
but I don't want to ignore anyone.
Right.
Kitty Bradshaw with the raid. Thank you
Raiders,
so much.
welcome in.
Yeah, thanks, Kitty Bradshaw. I appreciate that.
I
She
see
was
Clark. You have a question here too. Are you DJing from a Kim? Yes, I am. I am the only middle school teacher in my building that has the science lab, and yes, I do DJ in my chemistry lab. On I have a passion block on Fridays where I teach DJing, so I have mini controllers there that I teach the kids. So I just pull one out and I use my computer for work, my DJ computer for work too, and so I just jump right on and do that.
okay. So thank you so much, Kitty Bradshaw, with the raid. How was your show? Let us know. I'm sure it was good and spicy and interesting. Definitely let us know. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Kitty Bradshaw, make sure everyone adds her as well. We got G Class, the DJ. Who else we have? Oh, Crazy Berry Town. Good to see you. We got her in the building
Crazy,
as
what's up?
well. Another famous mod and streamer too, does a fitness show. So make sure you guys are adding all these dope females as well. And of course, we got DJ. Well, DJ Tank was here. Thanks for coming through, you guys. I appreciate you. I nearly missed you guys. Nearly missed the raid. So
Yes,
I'm with
DJ Tank is in the building too. What's up, man?
yeah, I'm
I miss
with
to see you too.
yeah, thank you, Kitty Bradshaw. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate the raid. We got Panda Butterfly 2 here. And hopefully I didn't miss anyone. Great to see all you guys. So I'm just talking to DJ RL Breezy. The last couple hours, we are also on Instagram talking about Chicago, how he grew up. He's a teacher, he's a DJ, a streamer, and a lot of interesting things. We played some of his TikToks. He does the Hoochie Daddy. He's a spokesperson, guys, for the Hoochie Daddy shorts.
And facial cleansers. Don't forget the facial cleanser.
Facial cleanser. Yeah, exactly. So look out for his videos coming up. You definitely need some gym videos. I think that would be hilarious, like some slow motion videos at the gym. I was going to do a few of those, like for the fun of it at the gym, if I could find some random people that would do some videos with me.
I tell you what, send me some content to work, and I'll work that out. I definitely
Oh
will.
yeah, actually, yeah, that would be. We got to talk off of the show. Maybe we could do a duet, if it's okay with your wife, of course. I don't want to get in trouble, but like that would be hilarious. Like say if you were at the gym
Yeah,
or I was at the gym or I don't know, because I'm thinking, how am I going to ask someone at the gym, some random person, to do some of these funny videos with me, right?
they
Like
will. Believe it or not.
nuts.
Believe it or not, Shay Tay said this earlier too. So like it's a popularity contest. Some people want to be in that space, and some people don't mind doing it either. So
Yeah.
go
Like
for it.
I was going to go up to someone because I had some guys I was asking for dating advice and they're saying, Honeyflow, all you got to do is just compliment a man Or why don't you go to the gym and ask him like to spot you 5-pound weights? So that
So
would
let me
be
tell you,
hilarious. Can you
I'm going to give you
imagine?
some free. Let me give you some free game. All right, and I think most guys in the chat will agree with me. A guy, even if they have no chance of getting your phone number or any of that case there, if you are a beautiful woman, guys will almost do anything for a beautiful woman just to do it.
I don't know.
Free game. I'm
Toronto's a
telling you.
different place, I'm telling you. I'm gonna show you guys on video. I'm gonna give you guys proof. Toronto is not like that. It's a different place. It's like
So
New
you
York.
telling me if you because you are a beautiful lady, I want to put that out there.
Oh,
You don't
thank
think that a
you.
guy would do something for you just because you're beautiful?
Not at all. Not here. Not here.
Gentlemen, can you jump in the chat and can you back me up on that one there?
Definitely not here. Maybe in the States, but definitely not here.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, I think we were just on Kitty Bradshaw was actually on Disco Darren's show, and we were all talking about that dating. She
Mhm.
jumped in on his show too, which was a great show. It was actually a lot of fun. And he was talking about dating, like who would pay or who approaches, that sort of thing. But
Mhm.
no, Toronto's a different place, let me tell you. Clarky can verify for me. Clarky can verify. She knows.
That's
It's totally
interesting.
different. See, she says Americans and Canadians are two different animals. It's true. She's from Barbados and she moved to Canada. So she knows exactly how Toronto is here.
I'm coming to Canada. I'm coming to Canada. I'm gonna set these
Like,
grass.
you get rejected here too as a woman. That's why I would never approach like anyone here. I just wouldn't.
Mhm.
And but like some guys in the chat room were giving me some advice. They're like, go to the gym and just ask a guy to spot you and just lift like 5-pound weights. Like that would be hilarious. Can you imagine you're asking someone to spot you 5 pounds? Like I think that would be funny.
And see, I think a guy gonna take that as you flirting because we know you can lift 5 pounds.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
Maybe Kitty Bradshaw could help us all out. Maybe she seems pretty smooth. Maybe she could help us.
mhm.
Oh, so she says Disco Darren was just in her stream. She seems pretty confident, so she'll be able to help us.
Shay
Um,
asked a question early. I want to answer her question. She put in the chat twice.
oh,
She
thanks.
asked what was my favorite genre of music, I believe, artist, and why.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up here. Let's see here. Scroll up the questions. Yeah, so
Okay.
go ahead. You could answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, being a music head, I'm going to say that I can't wrap myself around a particular genre. It all depends on how I feel that day. Um, Most people see me do R&B on Twitch a lot of times, and that's kind of like my area that I tend to kind of work with on Twitch. Um, but currently, I can't pinpoint like my favorite genre of music. Um, R&B is easy for me. Like I said, I can do that in my sleep. 90s, I'm gonna go decade 90s music, 80s music. I can do that in my sleep. Um, when I say like my record collection over here, my CD collection is crazy because I would travel so far from work. I would pop in CDs or put in my AirPod, whatever you call them things, the Apple iPod, the old school stuff, and we'll listen to music all the time. Um, so I can't give you a particular genre that is my favorite. Um, I would say I gravitate with R&B, hip hop, jazz. It can be any particular one of those at any given time. I love my Chicago artists. I love New York rappers. Um, that's kind of like my area in terms of artist wise. So that's why I kind of stick there. I don't know if anybody necessarily who's and I know a lot of people on Twitch are music heads. We don't necessarily have a particular artist that we love the most or genre. Can I do I speak for you too, Honeyflow?
What for different?
So if you used to say genre, your favorite genre, would you say you have a specific one
Yeah,
or
yeah, I would definitely say 90s hip hop and R&B. That's definitely my thing. But I mean, like you, it's like there's so much different music out there. There's house, disco, funk,
Mhm.
70s, 80s, 60s. It just depends what mood you're in, I think, right?
Yeah.
Afro beats, dance hall, Spanish. Like there's a lot of
Mhm.
I don't but I would say probably my strongest would be 90s hip
Yeah.
hop and R&B. That's what I'm most comfortable with and what I grew up with, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you resonate with that a lot. So 80s and 90s, they say I do that in my sleep.
Yeah.
If I was to like say, hey, you need to pick an area to play in, I'm going to stick in it. I would go there and do that with ease. This Jerry Curl house.
Have
What
you
is
ever learned like different genres or something different from what you're used to? So, for example, if you watch like DJ Reminisce from New Zealand, I didn't realize there are so many lovers rock artists out there in music. And then when I talked to DJ Jonah, like he knows his house, he knows his hip hop, like, being from Chicago, but he wasn't really too familiar with lovers rock or soca music. So have you learned any new genres or anything being on Twitch, being around different DJs?
from Twitch? No, believe it or
No?
not, no, not from Twitch. Um, I haven't learned anything musically from Twitch. To be honest, I've heard new songs that I may like, but um, I I'm a person I can get bored quick, so I challenge myself when I'm not on Twitch. I'm playing around with different music. So um, when we before we got on Twitch, I had a couple of DJs. I said, "Hey y'all, let's challenge each other. I'm going to pull out different genres and we're going to just play it on the fly." So like
Mhm.
I've done rock, I've done soca music, merengue, Afrobeat. I played it all, and like I said, when I do over 20 weddings a year, so when I tell you I've done some of everything up until what's that? It's one genre I hate. Um, I can't think of the name of it. It's almost I'm going to call like the white chick kind of movies. I can't think of the name of the genre, but there's a
I don't know.
emo music. Have you heard of emo music?
No, I've never heard of that. What's that? I've
It's
never
a
heard of that.
mixture of pop and rock. It's kind of fused in that case there. It's too energetic for me where it's like nonstop. I'd have done like 10 weddings in that capacity there. Only had to do an hour of it. Reggae music, I love that kind of music too. Um, it's man, I probably played on almost anything because I always challenge myself in that capacity.
Okay. So soca,
Chicago
were they
mix.
playing much of that in Chicago? I would have never assumed. I would
Yeah.
think Spanish, Afro beats, probably house, hip hop, R&B, but soca?
When I
Did they
come
have
back,
a West Indian?
and when
Hmm?
I tell you Chicago is more talented and more diverse than you think it is, it's certain.
Mhm.
We the third largest city in the United States.
Yeah, for sure. Or is it fourth? I think we beat you guys out. Toronto
Well,
did.
I didn't say North
Someone's
America.
got to
I said United
Google.
States. United
Clarky,
States.
Google. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But you
Mhm.
guys are huge. You got because it's what 35 million people in
I don't
Illinois
even know
or
the number anymore,
more?
but and I'm not. We're not saying we're not using Illinois. Illinois is Chicago, and everything else is nothing else. I don't know what that is. Uh,
You guys
nobody
drive
cares about
crazy out there, man. I remember driving through when I moved to Toronto, and they come right up to your bumper. I don't know what that is. Like, we don't really do that. Like, they'll like tailgate you if you're going too slow,
but New
like
York is
right
worse.
up to your bumper.
New York is worse.
Yeah, everyone was honking at me in New York at a red light, and I couldn't figure out. I'm like, why is everyone honking? It's a red light. Like,
I
do
got
they
a
want me to
reel coming to a. I
drive through the
guarantee
red
you about.
light? Hmm?
Mhm. I got a reel about the pulling up on you coming up soon too.
Yeah, what is that? I don't know.
You're gonna see it on IG. You're gonna see it
Oh,
soon.
okay.
I'll show you. It's a
You're gonna
secret.
you're gonna do a TikTok?
Yep, I have one already in mind for that one too.
Oh, man.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. We'll have to we're gonna have to do a duet. I'm gonna have to try to come up with something,
Okay.
like some funny TikToks, but it's cool that you do it. You don't see a lot of people TikToking.
Yeah.
So, you definitely I said that from the beginning when you started. You have the personality for it. And you're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, yeah, it's kind of slow." And then now look at you going viral over 200,000 people. It's crazy.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes though. It's fun. It's fun. It don't take a lot of my time either too, so I can do that in like maybe 2 or 3 takes, 5 minutes, and then I'm done.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you
So
see, DJ Jonah, he's one that says, "No, it isn't. It's not for kids. There's reels everywhere."
yeah.
That's what other people have told me too. It's for kids. It's for everyone. Adults watch reels like all the time
Yeah.
on Facebook and Instagram, right?
And you can find some informative stuff on there too as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Snapchat, I would say, is more for kids.
Yeah, I don't mess
And
with
and then they say to us, Facebook, no offense,
it.
Facebook,
For
because
old
we're on there
folks.
right now, they say it's for old people.
Yep.
And since I kind of left Facebook, I could kind of see it because everyone's debating like over everything.
Yeah.
At least Instagram's a bit better where it's just you're just looking at reels, you're looking at pictures and videos, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So have you had like any raid that came in on your show that you're really nervous about?
No. So
Not at all?
and that may and I try to be aware of this here too. Chicago has a reputation too from a lot of people that think like we're very boastful
Mhm.
and arrogant. And so we have to kind of be that way in Chicago because it's so much competition here. And so being that I come from an area where it's so much competition here, any rate I'm on, I have no fear whatsoever to jump into any raid. So it just the only part is the chat. I just want to make sure I can keep up with that. But musically, um, you could put me with anybody. I'm ready to rock and roll.
So was there ever a time even when you first started that you were nervous? Like at all?
Once, once.
Mhm.
If DJ Nails is still in the chat, I got to give more shout outs to him as well too because he kind of helped me push myself to affiliate. He had a strong following at the time, and at this time, I would, on average, maybe 2 to 3 viewers at a time in my chat. I didn't care. I'm just going to just vibe out and rock out. He had a thing going, and he told us he actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, when are the next time you're going to be on? I want to send some people over." I was doing an all Jay Z set. That's my favorite rapper, and I'm like, "Oh, he's going to bring some people in. Oh, now should I talk or change my personality or something like that?" And so I just let the music do its thing. But that was the one time I was nervous when they came in. I didn't know if I was going to maintain them because I'm like, maybe they don't like this song. But I got to a point where I said, I'm just gonna go with it. But that was the only time I was ever like nervous for a raid. When it comes to music, I'm ready. I'm always ready. I'm hungry when it comes to that.
So if there's like any artist that you could work with, DJing, who would that be? Or you can name a few. Like anyone, even if they passed away, like a Prince or Michael Jackson, like if there's anyone, who would you want to work with?
Michael Jackson is the all time greatest performer in my opinion. From that particular like a musician in that capacity, DJ wise, I would love to be in the presence of Jazzy Jeff. That's always been my dream there too, to be in his presence. He's one of a kind in terms of what he does from a DJ standpoint. And I know people can do all these crazy kind of things, but Jazzy Jeff is told he's just a different monster there.
And that could be feasible. Like you should definitely go to his show more often. He seems like a very down to earth guy,
He
you
is
know?
so crazy not so. I have a cousin. She DJs on Twitch. I kind of got her here, and she's kind of getting her feet wet too. She's belongs to a sorority, and he was supposed to be paid to come to a space to DJ, and she was going to open up for him.
Mhm.
My sister-in-law belongs to that sorority as well too, so she came to me and said, "Hey, there's a chance I may throw you in
Oh, wow. That
to
would be
open up
amazing.
for him." If it fell through, I think some money thing kind of didn't work out, so we ended up not doing it. So I was this close to having a chance to DJ with him, to be in his presence that one time, but
Yeah, well, you never know. I think he's a really cool guy. I met him like in my 20s after a show, and him and his crew were, I think we talked to like five, I don't know, it was a long time for
yeah,
hours and
yeah.
about DJing, music, life. It was really cool, like meeting some of them. And
Hmm.
and I was asking him a lot of questions, because he never really judges a new DJ or what equipment they have.
Right,
Like he's really fair with everyone. And he even said, "Why would I bother using vinyls? Like you got to keep up with the time. Like even though he does that, why would I bother continually being kind of like snobby over, because back then it was CDJs versus, turntablist DJs,
right,
and turntablist DJs were really giving the DJs that bought the CDJs, like, a tough time, right? Saying, "Oh, you're not a DJ," kind of thing,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
that was a question I asked him. It's like, how do you feel about the new technology or the new equipment? And he's like, "Hey, I'm getting older. Like, I don't want to be, lugging crates and everything around."
Right.
He's like, "If it makes it easier, a controller's easier, even with the sync button or whatever buttons they use,
Yeah.
then that's okay."
Mhm.
So I like that he's very fair with he doesn't really judge, like, if you just started DJing or if you're not that great. He
Mm.
doesn't judge you like other DJs kind of could judge you, right?
I noticed that too. Yeah, but like the biggest part, I just relationships. I always want to build that relationship with people. Like I said, I would love to be a fly on the wall in his playlist and his playlist retreats and stuff like that too. Just to read his mind and stuff like that. And I agree. I've seen him in interviews and stuff. I never met him personally, but I can tell. You can tell when a person has good energy. And
Yeah, he does.
I'm totally with him too. Um,
Yeah.
I learned how to DJ off an iPad. That's where I started. I'm sorry,
Wow.
iPhone, then an iPad, and then all of us. So you see, I have turntables now. I have records galore. I don't know if you can see records over here. I
No, I
taught
can't
myself
see.
taught myself how to do everything. So
Wow. How many hours would you say that you put into it? Because a lot of people just think, "Oh, it's just pressing play." Like, they wanna book you for so cheap, and they don't realize how much effort DJing and equipment and everything is. Like, would how many hours would you say that you practiced when you first started in 2009?
so then I was literally practicing because I'm a school teacher. Summertime, I would do like 5 to 6 hours a day just
Wow.
learning how to blend, just trying to learn how to blend. But on top of that, I would use YouTube. So believe it or not, I didn't watch too many tutorials for Jazzy Jeff,
Mhm.
what he was doing, because it was too advanced for me. I started with DJ TLM, DJ. He's a Asian guy. I can't think of his name. Man, how could I forget his name? He was like my kind of start, and that's why how I learned how to do like baby scratches and stuff like that. And once I got to
Mhm.
that point, I started listening to how Jazzy Jeff would select his music. I'm like, man, I like how he's doing it. And he's showing um, how to curate music. No, it's not Steve. I can't pronounce AOK. It's not that person. DJ Angelo. That's his name. DJ Angelo. That dude's sick too. And so comparing watching those tutorials and trying, and what's crazy because they were doing it on turntables and I was doing it on an iPad.
Wow.
And so then I decided, what, let me step my game up. I went to this controller. It's called a DJI Pro. You can slide your iPad in there, and they had rotaries and stuff like that. And I
Mhm.
there, then I got a Newmark NS7. So then I started learning how to use platters, and I said, you know what? Let me get some turntables. Let me learn how to actually use that. And so I wanted to kind of pay homage to how it goes as well too. So like DJ Jazzy Jeff said, you want to learn how to do it on all different things, especially keep up with the times, and that's what I was trying to make sure I did as well too. I definitely look up to him.
So what do you take to a wedding? Is it your techniques or is it something like a controller, something smaller?
I depends. I have a really fancy setup too. I have a custom made table. You can kind of see this is in a cabinet right here, and it sits in the tower. I either bring my Rain One out, my NS6. I always bring my small Wego as a backup. If some folks want like the classic style, I bring my turntables here. I don't always bring these out, but most of the time it's my Rain One.
Yeah, because that would be heavy. I think that'd be so heavy. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. So, hey, Disco Darren, we were just talking about you earlier in your
So Darren,
show
what
as
up?
well. It was a fun show. He really did have a fun show there.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to definitely rate out you guys, but I think the last question I have, and I'm always interested in finding out how people think.
Yeah.
What would be besides DJing, what would be on your life bucket list? So if you could do anything, say you only had a month to live, like what would that look like? to you?
Man, it's always comes back to quality time with the people who I am connected to. I want to spend quality time with those folks, and I love to I love to travel.
Mhm.
For my if it's my birthday, my kid's birthday, hey, let's go travel. So I prefer traveling and seeing the world. You gain different perspectives and being in different spaces. And like I said, I got to get to Canada now. I want to get a chance to see what that particular world is like.
Have you ever been up here or ever been
I
to
have not.
Canada?
I have not.
What? Oh, you gotta come.
And see,
Then
this
you'll
is my
understand our stories. You'll understand me and Clarky's stories. We'll prove it to you in Canada, what's going on here.
and see.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had this naiveness that the further you go north, it's cold. I don't like cold. That's the reason I plan in the next few years to move to LA
Mhm.
to be in an area where the climate is kind of constant in the case. I don't like cold. I can't stand it. I hate it. Yes, Miss Sweet, I'm trying to make you a twitchionaire.
Yeah, it can get cold here, that's for sure. Yeah, Clarky's like, come up to Canada. Disco Darren, he played for the CFL and lived here for a number of years and got so many stories, I'm sure, about Canada and the ladies. Um, yeah, so he said you'll like it. Yeah, you guys got to come if you get a chance. Come for Caravana, all you guys. You
Mhm.
know.
Well, you
Um,
might be surprised. I might pop up there this summer. I have
yeah, you
some.
guys should. There's a few cruises too. I know Jerry, the DJ out here, he does boat cruises, so he's going to have like a Twitch boat cruise too. Lots of Twitchers are traveling all across the world coming.
Mhm.
I heard DJ P Foo's coming in this weekend, so I hope to meet him as well. But yeah, so that should be a great cruise. I think it's going to be August 1st, so you should come. You should definitely come. But get a hotel early if you guys come for Caravana, because there's over 1 million people that come here to
Mhm.
Toronto, and it's insane. Like every hotel, everything's booked,
Oh,
right? Yeah. But that's not normally how Toronto is too. It's definitely a lot of Americans come and it's like a huge party. So it's probably a little bit more tamer if you come a couple
mhm.
days prior to Caravana and to see what
Now,
Toronto's really about.
tell me this here, because I'm about food too. I'm a foodie to some degree.
Mhm.
What would you say is like the best food to have? And I'm
Oh,
thinking
man.
of not necessarily the sweets, but more so the savory type of meals.
It's like you can't even pinpoint it because when you come to Toronto, it's kind of like a little bit of a mini New York, but
Okay.
it's even times that even more so, I think, because we have so much culture and diversity. Like we're known as like the most mixed race capital in the world.
Hmm.
So here, if you go up the street, you're going to get Greek, Italian, West Indian, like Clarky says here,
It
East
sounds.
Indian. It just depends what mood you're in. You're going to get Asian food. Like you're going to get every culture and every country possible here.
Okay.
But I'm with Clarky. I like my West Indian food. I love my Caribbean food. I just went to a place called Chubby Jamaican. It's like in a house, and they had some cool, really good jerk chicken there. And
Okay.
it's like very tropical inside, like really cool kind of place.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you come here, we'll definitely, if anyone comes here, inbox me. We'll definitely take you out and show you around.
Miss
Yeah,
Sweetie, I got you.
Clarky
We
says
gonna fly
curry,
spirit
anything
though.
like roti. Like Clarky, yeah, roti. We don't even have a signature dish. It's just dishes from around the world, basically.
That
So,
sounds like Chicago. People see us for our pizza, but when I tell you, so Disco Darren can probably agree with me. Maybe, maybe not, because I know he's traveled as well too. Nothing's like Chicago's food. We get really spoiled when it comes to the food that we have here, and when we go to other places. When you had mentioned New York for a minute, I'm like, okay. No shade on New York. I've been there several times, and I've had the food, and I guess it's not what it's cracked up to be. So it's nothing like Chicago food. So that's why I'm like, hey, what kind of food you got there when I'm coming up here? Hans mentioned Chicago, the taste of Chicago. That's overrated.
yeah, you guys are known for your restaurants out there in Chicago. I remember that. Um, like you're very, very known for your restaurants in Chicago too.
From high class to brown paper bags with the grease at the bottom restaurants.
Yeah, I like both. I can take both. I'm good that way.
And
Yeah.
they say this here too. The more dangerous the place is, the area,
The better the
the better
food.
the food. Yep.
I can see that. It's like that here too. You do drive-bys where you're just driving in and you're driving right back out and you're grabbing your Portuguese chicken, you're running. Like
Yep.
not the greatest area, but I remember going there at 3 in the morning trying to grab my food and leaving.
And
Um,
and if the cook has missing teeth, that's the best food too.
oh no. Okay, I don't know about the missing teeth business. I don't know about the missing teeth guys. I
Yeah,
don't
see,
think we have too
that's free game for you. Free game when you come to Chicago. That's what you look for.
we don't have too many missing teeth out here. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to visit Chicago again.
Yeah.
So let everyone know the next time you're on, and then I'm gonna see actually who do you want to rate into? I don't know if you can see there.
Yeah, I saw one of my Chicago brothers on. Actually, two of them. I'm gonna have to do a rock paper scissors. Clyde Fan is on, and DJ Speedy Gunn is on. Both of my Chicago brothers are on. Um, I'm gonna flip a coin for that in a minute.
Or do you
Uh,
want to do rock paper scissors?
yeah.
Okay, so which one is what? Okay, so who am I then for the DJ?
You're gonna
Or
be
do you want?
Clive. Okay, you be Clive, and I'll be Speedy Gunn.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. On three.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Hey, yours
So
was slower. I think we need a recount. Let's
okay,
do it
ready?
again. Okay, 1,
Two.
2, 3. Oh, we did it. We did the same thing. Okay, let's do it again. I feel like he's going slower. 1, 2, 3. Ah, you got it. Okay.
So we're going to Speedy Gun. I want
Speedy Guy? I don't think I've heard of him. Speedy Guy?
Speedy Gun.
Oh, Speedy Gun?
Yep. I want to take the time to definitely say thank you so much to the chat for hanging out here, giving us your time. That's super important. Thank you, Honeyflow, for having me here as well. I'm small potatoes here on Twitch, and for you to reach out to me, I'm very honored for that. Mrs. Sweetie, I call her my girl. I don't like to use the word my. You know how I feel about mods in the first place. That's my lifesaver there. So shout outs to my girl right there, Miss Sweetie Pie. I'm going to get you some Spirit tickets. I'm going to get you flew out to Canada. Okay.
Yeah, you guys gotta definitely come. And you're not small potatoes. Don't ever say that, you know?
I'm calling it how it is. That's
No,
the
you're
truth of the
not.
matter.
No. I just like having honestly good people on my show, and for the most part I've had everyone the past couple years, have
Hmm.
had such great people on my show. I've learned so much from like everyone that's come on my show. I definitely think about those interviews after, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Is this how you do his name? I'm just punching it in here. I just want to make sure. Is it DJ Speddy Gun like that?
Yep. He say one E, two N's. That's how we say it when he's saying
No,
his.
Speedy Gun.
Yep.
But is
Speedy.
this is this him though that I wrote in the chat? Is that
That
him?
that is him. Yep. Let me
Okay,
double check the spelling. Um,
just want to make sure because I'm in his room right now. I've
yep.
never seen him before. There's so many DJs here.
So he used to be on every Tuesday. Do tantalizing Tuesdays, but he kind of slowed down too. Life kind of
Yeah,
takes
for
away from
sure.
it sometime.
Yeah, it'll be nice to check out someone different too because I haven't done that. So I just want to thank you guys as well. And thank you for sticking around so long. Like we've been on Instagram since 5:40, guys. So I appreciate you sticking around so long as well. And hopefully you guys learned something about DJ RL Breezy. Make sure everyone in the room adds him as well. Stick around for the raid. Let's support another DJ from Chicago too.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm gonna really look. I'm gonna think about coming out maybe to Chicago to your barbecue. I think that would be amazing. Hey, DJ Genius, I see you. And again, also add Kitty Bradshaw. Thank you so much for the raid. I really, truly appreciate it. And everyone else coming through. So we are going to DJ Speedy Gun
Hmm.
right now. I'm going to set up the raid here and it should go in about a minute. So
Yeah.
thank you guys, I promise. And yeah, and come if you guys ever get a chance to come to Canada, I'm being so serious. Like make sure you message me. We will definitely show you guys around Canadian style. You
Mm,
will know exactly what I'm talking about too on my Canadian stories.
yeah. Clarky, thank you so much, sweetheart. Shay Tate, yes, thank you. Disco Darren, Kitty Bradshaw, Genius, Hams, Liddell. I know quite a Panda came in the building as well too. Jonas, Chill Hill in the building, DJ Tank. Who am I missing? Who am I missing that came in here? I always miss a few people.
I know I've missed so many people.
Yes, hey, you all. So it is not a meetup, it is a barbecue.
Twitches. Yes, it's a barbecue. It's a barbecue.
Twitch is our radio India. Thank you so much. Hey, this event is for anybody to come. If you want to come, you know where to find me. Come through my Twitch channel, catch me at IG. Some of you got my phone number. Reach out.
Yeah, definitely send me details, Disco, if you're coming as well. I'm only going to show you around when you let me know about that other Canadian woman in your chat. You know, I like bugging him. So we will only show you around if we find out who that person is. Someone he used to date a while ago that kind of lurks in his chat. I always bug him. I always say, oh, is there any Canadians in this chat? Okay, let's see here because I'm trying to find out who she is. Okay, I'm going to try raiding out, I think, 1 or 2 more times, and I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
I know the raid just went too.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got something to eat or you're getting something to eat too.
I ate before we came, and so
that's smart.
I'm doing this diet. I'm trying to get my summer body right, like for real, for real. I know it's fun and games, but I'm at the same time I'm really trying to chisel myself up a little bit for the summer too.
No, I hear you. I'm definitely trying to eat healthier on that kick too. So, all right. So I'm going to do it one last time, and then we're good to go as well. Hopefully we didn't miss anyone. Make sure you guys go to DJ Speedy Gun as well. That's who we're going to right now. So there we go. Okay, I think that's good. 3 is good. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, RL Breezy. We'll definitely see you soon. And we got to work on a TikTok together for sure.
Yes, if something come across your mind that you think is feasible that we can work out, let me know, and we'll make it happen.
I'll look at a funny one. I'll look at something funny for sure. Okay, take care. Have a good night.
You do the same.
Take care.
All right.